In this video, I'll be talking about how you dramatically improve your video, and I'll be showing you all on my Nikon mirrorless Z50, Z50 if you're Canadian. 3 simple tricks that you can do even if you're not even want to spending a dime or dollar, and how you make something look horrible, something a little decent, all for free with just these little changes. Stay tuned, watch all the way to the end. I will tell you exactly how I did it and how you can do it too. Follow along. What up? If you don't know who I am yet, my name is Peter from BVC Co, aka Broke Visionary Collective, where I help you become a better video creator and help you jumpstart your own video gig or freelancing video editing career and all things video. And if you watched my videos in the past, I've made so many damn videos about the best video settings, how to get the best light with the ring lights. But in this video, I'm going to show you the one all, the end all, the be all of how exactly you make your video look a little bit more better, especially if you're a complete beginner and you just want to turn on camera and make it look a little bit more professional. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is lighting. Lighting is such a deal breaker, and you can spend $10,000 on the best and biggest, baddest cinema camera out there, but if you don't have decent lighting to light up that beautiful face of yours, yes, that beautiful face of yours, then you're not going to make the best use of your camera, because low light in anything, doesn't matter what camera you have, it's going to look not that great. So right now I'm going to show you an example of what happens when I turn off my key light right here, just off to the side. See how that looks? Alright? Doesn't look that great anymore. Let's see, I'm going to turn off my hair light. Right? And last but not least, I'm going to turn off my softbox light all the way in the back. As you can probably tell, I do have a one window light right next to me, but as you can see, the difference between having light and no light is pretty important. So when it comes to lighting, it is one of the most important things that you can have when you are filming any video. And making sure how you properly set up these lights, and link in the description below if you want to check out exactly how I set up these lights and what lights I recommend. Everything is in the link in the description below. You can check out all the videos and reviews. But the main takeaway is making sure the light is pointing in a way where it is like facing towards your face so you are lit up, and you want to be bouncing all the shadows and as well as any other dark lights around you. And lighting will dramatically improve your video quality as well as how you appear on camera, unless you're going for some cinematic dark and evil look. But for the most part, making sure you have some sort of light, whether that's a ring light, a softbox light, or some sort of window. If you go on that super cheap mode, just put your camera in front of a window, you'll face yourself, front facing key light, and that's one of the easiest ways how you instantly improve your video. The next part is I'm going to be talking about your camera settings, because most people think that you want to just point and shoot, turn on, and that's going to have you the most best settings, but that's not always the case. So when it comes to camera settings, it doesn't matter if it's a Nikon, it's a Sony, it's a Canon, it's a Fujifilm, whatever it is, the basic principles apply. It comes down to, is your ISO, aka your camera's sensitivity to light, is it at the lowest as it can go? The higher it is, the more grainier and crappier the footage will look. Same thing applies for photos. You'll see a lot of grain. Are you shooting at the right shutter speed? Are you shooting at 1/50 if it's a video, if you're filming in a 24 frame timeline, or if you're filming in, let's say, a 60 frame timeline, is your shutter speed at 1/120, so you have the smoothest video as possible. And just like anybody else, we all want that depth of field, and all that is just the aperture. So the lower your aperture number is, the more cinematic it'll look, and you can have that more of that depth of field look. Essentially what it's doing is you're opening up your iris as big as it can go, so it focuses everything in the front and everything else is behind you, is blurry. And the aperture is similar to that too of the human eye. So camera settings is making sure you have understanding your white balance, right? Because let's say I suddenly have the sun changes or something gets really too dark, too cool, it can completely change up the vibe of the video. So you want to make sure you have your right video settings, your ISO, your shutter speed. Links in the description if you want to take my camera course where I literally walk you through. I hold your hand in a professional way, of course, and I show you step by step in 1 hour crash course with my Nikon Z50-200. Take you exactly through how I film and what are the best settings, as well as my older YouTube setup, and as well as break down my camera wheel, what lens I use and all that stuff. Link description, you can check that out. And if you're stuck this way, there is one more final tip to make your videos look a little bit more professional, a little bit more better, and as well as improve the overall quality, and that is framing. So framing itself is how you are framed within the photo, right? It's the same thing applies. It's how you're applied when you are in front of the camera. Let's say I want to change up the framing a bit of this shot, right? Let's say I want to be right in the middle here, right? Let's see, you can change that, right? I'm in the middle, and then I have to adjust the light just a bit, and I want to make sure what is in the background. Is my computer being cut off? Should I move my computer completely out of the way? Should I turn the screen here so there's less of a glare? So it's like framing, you can always work on how your video seems. And as you can see from the beginning of this, where I shot, I was more in the rule of thirds, meaning I was off to the side a bit. Now I am straight in front of you, and this should give you a completely different look and feel when it comes to how I want to present myself on camera to you guys. So a lot of the YouTube classic setup is me talking to you straight on, dead in the center. There's a little bit of headspace. If I don't have headspace, then it's gonna feel like I'm being cut off. So I just want to make sure, right here, I have about 3 to 4 inches of headspace above, looking dead on the camera, making sure my camera is level. Depending on what camera you have, I'm using the Nikon Z50. It does have a built-in leveler where I can tell whether or not, you know, the camera's a little crooked, right? Because that's never fun if your camera is just a little off like that. But luckily you can fix that in post. But what I'm trying to say is how you frame yourself, your subject, is check out the other video of how you instantly take better photos with my collaboration, what I did with another fellow content creator. Link description, check that out. Is that framing is like your meat and your potatoes, right? You have your main entree and you have your sides. You want to have whatever it is in front of you be pleasing to your eye as well as behind you. So right now I have a reference frame, right? Connecting to this on my phone, and I want to see how am I best positioned so I look more aesthetically pleasing. Because one of the worst things that you can do when framing is you want to have an interesting backdrop as well, but if you're positioned correctly in front of the camera and in a way where it's lined up, right? I'm looking you dead on the eye, right? And making sure that, you know, I'm not talking to you like this. Could you imagine if the whole video you couldn't see me at all, right? Unless this is a Twitch stream, but that's a different story. So what I'm trying to get at is those are the 3 things, guys. We're talking about how you get the best lighting, how you get the best video settings, as well as framing, and that is the foundation of video. It's that simple. And if you want me to help you out directly, I get a lot of DMs, questions. Join the Facebook group. That is a secret one that, you know, people post questions that not a lot of people know about, and I answer them. And if you want to get more in-depth detail where I personally help you out, check out my camera crash course as well as a freelancer masterclass as well. Check that out. My name is Peter. Grab my free camera guide. All my links and resources, man, they're here to help you. Help me help you. You're watching Broke Visionary Collective. My name's Peter, and we all start with nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers, guys.